Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to Tranquil Waters by Stevie. None other than Stevie. We are back pretty much where we left off before. I left last time not feeling particularly happy with the way I left things with this bale trailer. So I went and checked out the mod author's description of this thing. And I messed around a little bit with a couple things, but then I realized in his description, or their description, I'm not sure if it's a he or she, but in the description, there is, and I really actually like this, I think this is pretty unique for this bale trailer, there's actually a pro mode and a Brad mode. Now, he or she didn't use the term Brad mode, but I think we all know what Brad mode equates to because it's not pro mode. And I like Brad mode. Brad mode, and I think if you look at our help menu here, you can see toggle work mode, Control Y. And it actually changes this trailer. I don't know what work mode I have it on. Oh, we've got it on Brad mode. And you can see now the issue that I was having last time, as Tin Man so poignantly said in the comments, you can fix a computer but you can't figure out a bale trailer. Well, I can now say I figured out a bale trailer. Yeah, it's kind of cool actually that the mod author set it up this way. So you can go with this mode, which is the flyby mode, the happy skip and a jump right on the trailer. I think these bales are magnetically drawn to the trailer. I like that. Or you can do the pro mode, which I have done in the past, when you kind of want to do auto load, but you want to put a little effort into it. So you bring your telehandler or your wheel loader or whatever else out into the field and put a little effort into loading the bales, but they still load very, very nicely onto your trailer. Ooh, that must have been one of those. Maybe the last bale I spit out is always maybe a small one. I think that's a little guy over there. So kind of cool. So we're going to keep this trailer around, I guess, is what I'm saying. I sold our other trailer. I don't know if this trailer will unload. Oh, I think we are full. I don't know that this trailer is going to unload any better than the other trailers I have had no luck with, but we're going to go find out. So right now, I guess the game plan is not to drive on our field. Our game plan is to get all these bales collected, get them all nice and tucked away into our bale storage. Beacons for safety. Do we have beacons for safety? We do have beacons for safety. Yes, we do. I need to set our sales prices on dry alfalfa, because we do have customers who actually want dry alfalfa. Yeah, we'll see here. So why do I unload? That's horribly put. Oh, look at that. First try. Bada boom. Bada bing. Why again? Stop unloading. Wow, okay. That was kind of officially done right, I think. If I can do it that way twice. Why does that sound really weird? Twice in a row. If I can unload them successfully twice, man, that just sounds so weird to me. Twice in a row, then I'll know I have officially figured out an auto load bale trailer. So after we are done collecting our bales, we can go ahead and I think we can throw down some fertilizer on our alfalfa. And I was looking over our to-do lists, and it's looking to me like we're pretty much going to put a wrapper on this year. We don't really have anything else going on until after the holidays, so now that we've got our brewery as well, we need to start thinking about crops for that. As far as sugar goes, I was going to place a sugar mill. I was thinking about placing a sugar mill, but I'll tell you, I did a little investigatory work, and at least for the time being, I know you're not going to load, are you? No, you're not. I think for the time being, we might just buy sugar once we get to that point where we actually need sugar. I don't know if this is going to work or not, but we're going to give it a go. Yeah, it's kind of the invisible. All right. As long as it comes with us, I'm okay with that. We might just end up buying sugar initially. It's actually pretty affordable. I want to get to the point where we are providing the sugar, just because we need sugar beets anyways for our pig food. Now I know that we need, since we're here, let me I had a little problem when I went into the game the other day. Now, I don't know if you all remember, on Hinterland, we discovered an issue with our fish farming when I installed that upgradable factories mod or upgradable productions mod. The mod that lets us, upgrade productions. Well, I ran into that problem again here, where the composters were not working, and you get that message up here that says full, but obviously nothing was full. Brought me immediately back to Hinterland. I thought we were going to have to disable our upgradable factories. Fortunately, I took a chance. I disabled it. I disabled the upgradable factories mod, or productions mod. I saved the game, went back in, saved the game without it, enabled composting again, went back out, re-enabled upgradable factories, and boom, it worked again. So maybe it had something to do with the fact that we upgraded the game to 1.004. That may have played a role in this. I don't really know. I don't see our little bale. Is it trapped in there somewhere? Maybe so. That all being said, we need compost. There we go. We need compost. So we're back to making it. I don't know how long it wasn't making it, but we do need to make it. Dry alfalfa. So we've got straw working, and we've got dry alfalfa working. We've got more straw in storage we can bring over. We've got more dry alfalfa we can bring over. But we do need compost because our greenhouses are out of compost. I switched this greenhouse to strawberries because I believe we need strawberries for our new brewery, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, we do need strawberries. So for the strawberry wine, yeah. And for sugar, I'll show you that mod that you can buy production inputs. So for $500 you get 1,000 liters. That's about half price off of buying it by the pallet. And then as you go, another 500. And then it scoots up to 2,000 liters for 1,000, which again is almost half off the going rate. So I am more than happy to spend a few $1,000s on that. It's actually a pretty good deal. I think we can get rid of our super strength. We will definitely want to produce our own sugar at some point, but right now I don't think it's particularly urgent. We've got cut sugar beet that's ready to go. We can sell that outright, or we can give it to our pigs. And I think we still have some sugar beet in storage as well, if I'm not mistaken. So we got straw, and we've got a lot of bales of dry alfalfa. So that's good news. We'll have to take a look at our productions and see what all needs that. But for the time being, let's scooch over, if I can find it. Let's hop in our trike, and let's get this grass field fertilized. Actually, does this thing have a... No, it doesn't. Okay. Let's do this first. Let's drop our trailer off. Let's go grab our poop spreader. In this case, it'll be... Man, this thing is rocking, isn't it? It's rocking the lights. Oh, did I change my... Oh, I didn't change my outfit yet. Alright, I guess I'm still... Race car man. Let's grab this spreader. It's full of compost. Oh, you know what? Instead of wasting that compost on the field, not that we waste it, but... Can we, I don't think... This is a spreader, right? I guess I've never really tried this before. You can't dump from a spreader, can you? I would say that's a big negatory on that one. That would be nice if you could, but I guess it's designed for spreading. Let's go see if... So the only way we would be able to get this compost out of this trailer is either to spread it. Does that thing have kind of a Jake break thing going on? Yeah. I think the only way you're going to get it out of this trailer is either to spread it, or maybe we can try one other thing, actually. Maybe you can do the dump on the ground and then pick it up with something else, maybe? I don't think it's going to let me dump that way. Alright. Guess I really never thought about that, but I guess a spreader is designed for spreading. Now, normally, the Control I? Yeah, that's not going to work. Okay. Let's fire up our GPS. Oh, boy. No, it's 0, right? 0. Why can't I ever remember that? No, it's 9. Come on, man. I know I tried 90 before and it was wrong. Oh, well. All right, let's lock in. Let's bring up our map view. I guess my goal here is... Why isn't it showing? Because this compost should be fertilizer, correct? And it definitely needs nitrogen. Well, it kind of needs nitrogen. It's not as bad as it looks, maybe. pH is looking okay. Well, let's see what happens. You first need to unfold. Tell me that I didn't need to do that in order to dump it into the greenhouses, right? It's not making a difference. Why isn't it making a difference? Maybe it just doesn't really need it? Well, I'm not going to waste it if it doesn't need it. But that doesn't make any... That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Because it looks to me like this alfalfa field could definitely use some fertilizer. Let's test it out with regular spray fertilizer. Let's see what that looks like. Because if it's not going to help, we're not going to bother, and we'll just call it a day. Maybe I'll try and figure out a way to get that compost out of that trailer. See, this is looking more like... Oh, yeah. So, is compost not... Is it making any kind of... I don't think it's making any difference. It doesn't really look like it is. So maybe compost doesn't work very well with... maybe compost doesn't work very well with precision farming? Is that possible? What else we... Well, we could also wait and save it for another field. Yeah, we'll just do that. We'll give it one more test later on. But I'm kind of surprised. Yeah, I don't know. Curious. My assumption was compost would work exactly like manure or slurry. Or it just has a significantly lower value of nitrogen and it's just not... I don't know. If you all know, let me know in the comments. I'd be curious if you've tried using compost on this map or on a precision farming map, if it's done any good. Now you all noticed I put 90 degrees in there, so thank you very much. I guess we'll just use the old-fashioned liquid fertilizer. We could roll too. I guess we could take the time to roll this. We don't have a grass roller, but we could lease or buy a grass roller and save ourselves a little bit of money, I guess. But you know, I think it's kind of hard to value that, especially with precision farming, because you can see how little fertilizer this is actually taking to get this field up to snuff. So yeah, I don't know if I wish you a happy Monday. It always seems like it just comes so quickly. You know, the weekends just fly by. And before you know it, you get to do it all over again. If you are into sports at all, I hope you had a better weekend than I had. I think that's going to be kind of a theme on this channel, because it seems like every team that I enjoy watching pretty much blow. So there's that. At some point you have to ask yourself, you know, when is it time to make a switch? When is it time to say, you know what? I've enjoyed watching you guys play, but at some point or another, it's... What was it, that old ABC? And it was absolutely that classic ABC Sports introduction where they showed, the thrill of victory. And then they show that dude coming down that ski jump and the agony of defeat. How would you like to be... How would you like to be that dude, that ski jumper? And that's what you are most famous for, is getting absolutely smoked coming off that ski jump. I mean, I don't even think, if I remember it right, I'll have to look it up on YouTube, but I don't even think the poor guy, sorry, the poor guy, I don't even know if he even made it successfully to the end of the ski jump. It seems like I remember him doing the old pretzel move just at the point of liftoff. And it just looked so brutal. And you wonder, did the guy survive? Like, would ABC, would they be so cruel enough to show this guy's, getting grievously injured for their stinking every Saturday sports intro? It was either every Saturday, maybe even every Sunday. I mean, it was there. I mean, it was there for a long time. Like, it was to the point where, I wonder if, I kind of wonder how many inquiries. I think it was ABC. I think. I could be wrong about that. That's the first one that comes to mind. It might have been another. It might have been CBS or NBC, but I wonder how many inquiries they got from people asking, hey man, is that dude okay? Because, I mean, that looked brutal. I mean, that guy took a serious header off that. And those are some of the most brutal. I'll tell you, skiing, you talk about how violent games are with hockey and football, right? But I'll tell you, man, you get to the point where you watch some of these downhill skiers wiping out. It's like an entire hockey game's worth of checking takes place in a matter of seconds when these poor skiers going about 60 plus miles an hour just bite it. And it lasts, and you just watch them. They're just ragdolling, right? But I've watched some of these. You can watch them on YouTube. These ski jumpers. Absolutely brutal. Absolutely brutal. But yeah, to be the dude known for that, that's your claim to fame. Somebody asks you, hey, what'd you do for a living? Oh, professional ski jumper, Oh, really? Yeah, Olympics, the whole 9 yards. Oh, that's pretty sweet. What's your name? Jan von Klaas something blah something. Oh, never heard of you. Well, that dude that absolutely brutally gets wrecked on the introduction to, I think it was ABC Wide World of Sports. Yeah, that's me. That's what I'm known for. I thought we could change the width on this thing. We can't change the width on this thing? Dang it. Why can't we change the width on this thing? Oh, mate. Oh, look at that. I've been running around with the cover open. Stinking squirrels are getting in there. Oh, speaking of, I don't know why I'm going to do this, but we're going to do this, I guess. Speaking of squirrels, if I can hit the right button. There we go. So I knew this family that, I still know them, but they made their own maple syrup. And I mean, the whole 9 yards. Go out, tap the trees, everything. Best maple syrup I ever had in my life. Easily. Straight from the tree, man. I mean, it is absolutely amazing. Obviously, it goes through processes, right? You gotta do the boil down and so on and so forth. I forget what all of the processes were, but I do remember him having like these tables that had like almost like a channel that went back and forth through them, so the syrup would like slowly go through and this run down these channels, and I think the channel was heated with firewood or something, and then eventually the syrup would get boiled down, and he had this tester that you would stick in there, I think, to check like sugar levels and stuff. I forget all what it was, but so one weekend I was there. I used to hunt there as well, and one weekend I was there, and he asked me to help collect the maple syrup. So you just hop on a quad and drive around to the trees, and there were buckets hanging from the taps, and you would just grab the buckets and you dump them into a bigger bucket and rehang the bucket, or if it was done, it was done. So I said, yeah, no problem. That actually sounds kind of fun. I've never done anything like that, so I got to see the whole process. But I think somewhere along the line, it was either like it was pretty early on into the experience that I was really enjoying. It was a beautiful morning. If I remember right, it was just a beautiful fall morning, if I remember right. I forget if it was spring or fall, but anyways. I got to like the third bucket, and it felt heavy to me. It felt kind of heavy. Thought that was kind of weird. So I thought, well, all right, maybe it just has more, maybe it's got more in it. No biggie. So I dumped it out. And then I felt this shifting of weight in the bucket. Let's see here. We can probably do about 8 of those. And I think for straw, we can probably do about 8 of those. And I felt this shifting of weight. And you know what? We might as well use. Can we just use our trailer, maybe? Do we want to use our trailer? Or do I want to... You know what? Oh, quiet. Sorry, I know. You guys are probably getting sick from watching me jump in and out there. Sorry about that. So I felt this shifting of weight, and I'm like, well, that's weird. That's not the way it's supposed to work. And I remember reaching my hand kind of in there, because I was wearing gloves, and there was something very furry and squishy, and it was a stinking squirrel, and this squirrel had a bad day. Let's just put it that way. The poor squirrel had a bad day, and yeah, I felt bad for it. Look, I told myself it was quick, but I don't know how quick that could have been, Do you drown? Sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but do you drown faster in syrup than you do water? I don't know. It's so sad. This felt so bad for the poor little guy. Needless to say, now I know this is going to sound, and maybe you're probably asking, so Brad, what happened with the syrup? Because he had already dumped whatever syrup was in the squirrel syrup bucket. That had already been dumped, into a bucket that I already had some good maple syrup in. I'm going to try something a little bit different this time. Oh shoot, you know what, we can't because it's on this tractor. I played around with this thing, by the way, on the front of a telehandler. Yeah, it does work kind of nicer. So, needless to say, I stopped. And I got a hold of... Can I just run into you? You know what, maybe we can just do this. Can we just run into it? Yeah, there we go. Take it all. Come on, Mr. Invisible. Thank you. Needless to say, I got in the horn with the dude, the guy that, you know, I was helping, and I said, "Hey, man, I got a squirrel in a bucket," and he just acted like, "Oh yeah, okay, I was gonna warn you about that," you know, like it was really just nonchalant, like, "Oh, it happens all the time," you know, just. And I'm like, okay, so what should I do with, because I kind of have a mix now of squirrel syrup and good syrup. And he said, well, I don't think it'll take more, will it? And he said, well, don't worry about it. It'll boil out. And I kind of thought to myself, that was what I thought he was going to say. Like, it didn't surprise me. It really didn't. It really didn't surprise me that that was the route we were going to take. I should have beacons on for safety. It didn't really surprise me because what are you going to do? You know, and it was early enough on to where I guess we could have just dumped it out and called it good. But you know, you don't want to wait. You know, that stuff it's precious. You don't get a ton of it to begin with, right? And you don't want it to just go to waste. You definitely don't want it to go to waste. Ooh, that might work. Yeah, giddy up. So sure enough, that's what we did. We finished collecting, and after I saw the process of how it was all done, and he didn't sell this. Don't think that, you know, this stuff ended up on a Meijer shelf or something, or a grocery store or some small, you know, mom and pop shop. You know, this stayed with family and friends, kind of thing. It was the most amazing maple syrup, though. Oh, good gracious golly, it was so good. I mean, I mean, I don't know how to even describe. If you haven't had real maple syrup, you need to. You definitely need to. Well, that was kind of fun. It's just next level pleasure. I would kind of say it's probably like the difference between turkey bacon and real bacon. Turkey bacon tastes a little bit like a Band-Aid. Oh, come on, man. Where real bacon is amazing. Or vegan bacon. You know how you get the, oh, you know, I knew this one dude that eventually, I think he went back to normal, but he started going down this kick of the no red meat thing, and he went for a while there. He was like just all about, I think they were portobello mushrooms, and how they were easily just as good on the grill as steak. You know, oh, now it's falling. Nice. You do your thing. Thank you for that, by the way. Oh yeah, he just wouldn't admit. Now, granted, I've had portobello mushrooms on the grill, and they are tasty, but they're not steak. They're not a ribeye. They're not a New York. Okay, they're just not. And I think I have no idea where I was going with this. Oh, the comparison between like real maple syrup and Aunt Jemima's. You know, there is no comparison. Did that stick? Are you stuck? You are stuck. Okay. I love that. So do yourself a favor. That didn't work well, did it? There you go. Do yourself a favor, for sure. And I think you can, I think a lot of grocery stores do carry reasonably real maple syrup. I think it's in like these small jars and stuff, but you're probably better off trying to go to a roadside deal or some other kind of thing. But wow, it's just so miraculously better. And even the squirrel syrup, I guess, is where I was kind of going with it. Even the squirrel syrup, I didn't care. After I saw the process of how it all got boiled down, I mean, nothing was surviving this process. Between straining, boiling, the whole 9 yards, that squirrel could have taken 6 dumps to Sunday in that syrup, and I don't think it would have mattered. He probably did. Dang it! Now that I think about it, that squirrel probably did take several dumps in that maple syrup. See, I'm not happy about that now. I didn't think about that at the time. I'm not happy about that now. Well, what are you gonna do? You know, what are you gonna do? You can't let good maple syrup go to waste. I can tell you that, right? Poor squirrel. He said that he would usually, on average, I saw something. He said on average, it probably maybe lost about a squirrel a year. Not always a squirrel. Sometimes he said you'd find a chipmunk or something like that, you know, in there. That it wasn't always just a squirrel. But yeah, something you'd find something dead. Let's put it that way. And you know, there's bugs and things in there too. I mean, let's not kid ourselves, right? You know, there's definitely going to be bugs and things. But really, how nasty is that, really, when you think about it, compared to how fake syrup is made, right? Because you know that Aunt Jemima's and that log cabin crap and all that other stuff that's pawned off as syrup, you know that stuff is so fake that you're probably better off eating squirrel poop syrup than you are legit, store-bought fake. I don't even know what they put in that stuff, honestly. I think it's like syrup flavoring. So, anyways, let's call this a day. I guess we got done what we needed to get done. And I'm probably gonna just do some maintenance and get through the winter season maybe, and we'll have to convene back here when oh, Brad, I am having some issues with the buttons. We'll convene back here when we actually have some field work to accomplish. I'm thinking we need to buy a field too. I'm kind of thinking we're going to be buying this number 7. Next, we'll see how much money we can scrap up in the bank over the winter with our passive income. But I'm kind of thinking field 7. There's nothing planted on there right now, so we'll have to start from scratch on that one, which is fine. So anyways, thanks everyone for joining me. As always, super appreciate checking out the channel. Don't have a skate park anymore, so I'm kind of sad about that, but oh well. We can find other ways to die on our skateboard. But yeah, thanks for checking it out. Make sure you take care of yourselves and each other. Have a great rest of your day. And I'll see you back here on Tranquil Waters tomorrow. Bye for now.